Hello everybody, it's Jayma Malme here, and I'm excited for today's unboxing because I'm going to share with you what I got in my new Stampin' Up! Demonstrators box. So let me get that on the ground because it's pretty bulky here on my lap. But yes, I have officially signed up with Stampin' Up! Since Close to My Heart closed, and I can't wait to show you what I got to choose for my kit. We got to choose $125 worth of products. So I'm going to show you what I got and why, what I plan to do with it, and all that. And then also, last month I went to Stampin' Up's office and they gave us so much stuff, a whole slew of products to kind of get us going. And so I'm going to share with you, once I share what's in the kit, what I got at Stampin' Up's office. So I thought I would explain to you what's going on, why I signed up with Stampin' Up. So most of you know I was a Close to My Heart maker for many years, over 15 years, and Close to My Heart has closed its doors, which is very, very bittersweet. But they worked really hard with Stampin' Up, and both companies have come together and worked out so many details to make a transition for us makers over to the Stampin' Up family, and to make it as seamless as possible. So when I was at Stampin' Up's facility, I was blown away. I didn't know what to expect. I wanted to learn more. It was a leadership event that Close to My Heart was originally going to be putting on, that they do every year. And so I had planned to be going to that. But when they announced that they were going to be closing, Stampin' Up stepped in and said, hey, we'll still put this event on and we're going to show everybody what we're all about, instead of having the founders event that it was supposed to be. So I was absolutely blown away at how welcoming the Stampin' Up staff and leadership team was. From walking in the door to every step of the way, they've just been amazing, and you can tell that they really care. When Close to My Heart first announced that they were closing, I was really leery about, joining Stampin' Up. They said there was going to be some sort of partnership, but I didn't know what to expect. And I can tell you with full confidence now that I am super excited for what's to come and using their products. And I don't show anything here on my channel that I don't personally love and wouldn't personally use in my own scrapbooking, because hey, I'm doing my own scrapbooking here. It's not just for show. This is all the products that I love. And so I'm really excited to show their products to you and show you what they can do in your own projects as well. So one of the biggest concerns a lot of people have had, and it was one of mine too, is that Stampin' Up is mostly a card making company. And that is very true. They cater to card makers. But guess what? With Close to My Heart, kind of all of us merging into the company and coming into the company, so many scrapbookers now, they have fully committed to bringing in 12 by 12 scrapbooking products, and a lot of the same kinds of products that we were used to with Close to My Heart. And so that is super, super exciting. And one of the biggest things that, my ears perked up and I was like, okay, I'm listening. And they explained all of their plans, from designing scrapbook kits, just like Close to My Heart did, with the coordinating papers and stickers and embellishments and the guide with the 3 layouts done for you. They're going to do all of that. So in the meantime, Close to My Heart has some products that Stampin' Up purchased, that Close to My Heart produced before they even knew they were closing. And so they produced them and they ordered them, and Stampin' Up will be offering them. I think they're going to sell out super fast, but they are available starting today in very limited quantities. I can't even promise at the time of this recording, publishing, that they're still available. But there will be a release in May, a release in June, in July, and in August of all Close to My Heart products. Yes, the summer gnomes are going to be making an appearance sometime in July or August. And so kind of to bridge that gap before Stampin' Up has time to ramp up their scrapbooking offerings, Close to My Heart products will be offered. But Stampin' Up has so many amazing products. They already have 12 by 12 paper, and I'm going to be showing you some of the stuff that I got in my kit that will work for scrapbooking as well, that I'm really excited to start using later this week and in the coming months. So let's go ahead and just dive into what I got. So I'll start out with the business supplies and then we'll get into the really fun stuff. So I got 8 of the current catalogs. This is the brand new annual catalog. And from what I hear and have seen, it is laid out completely differently than it was before. The organization is very different. And there's a lot of stuff that's not in here. So the best way to shop, I know most of you already shop online with me, is to go to my website and see everything that's available. There's a lot of ways to sort the products, but I will be showing you a peek at a lot of what I deem were the must-haves. There's still a lot more that I want, but I could only get what I could get in the kit for now. I also got 8 of the mini catalogs and the annual catalogs that just ended in April. I'm guessing because since we joined technically in April, the kits were already made up and everything, and they still, had a bunch of stock. Plus a lot of the products that are in here are going to be carrying over. I don't know exactly which ones unless I go to the website to check, but a lot of this stuff is carrying over and will still be available. I got a bunch of You're Invited postcards, which I really have no use for, so I'm trying to think of a way that I might be able to repurpose these. Because I do everything online, I'm not going to invite people to host a gathering. There's this little welcome packet, which is kind of cool. There's a letter in here, and then there's a pen, a Stampin' Up pen, which is kind of fun. And I've seen some people repurpose this. This is the look that Stampin' Up has been putting on all of their printed marketing materials, and I really, really love that look. So I'm thinking I might be able to cut this down and use it on some cards maybe. And then some host forms, which again, I don't have a use for, but those are the business supplies that come in. So let's get into the fun stuff. So here is the fun stuff, and one of the things I was most excited about was the trimmer, because I've been on the hunt for the perfect trimmer. I'm hoping this is it, and I will let you know. I'm going to do a full, complete review video of all the trimmers I've tried. One of the things I noticed at first glance is that this goes all the way to 6 1/4. There's a 6 1/4 mark right here, which is important to me when I'm cutting photo mats, because I don't want to have to pull out the arm to have to cut a photo mat every time. This is nice when I'm having to cut something bigger, but most of the time I'm cutting something that is 6 1/4 or smaller, so I really like that it does go to 6 1/4. It does have this arm that comes out. It's a little hard to pull, but I think that's probably going to loosen up over time. There are little rubber feet here, so when you pull this out, it will be steady. So I'm excited to get started using that. This paper pumpkin kit came free, and I'm not sure if this is the case still. If you join now, if you would still get a paper pumpkin kit. I'm thinking you do. But this is an older one. So I've seen that some people have gotten the December 2023 leftover kit. I got the August 2023 kit, and this is Paper Pumpkin is their monthly subscription kit. So it's something that just comes to you automatically, and it has everything that you need to complete the project. So I got Pretty Peacock Stampin' Spot, the ink. And then there's this little stamp set. And then let's open this up and see what's inside. So everything comes packaged really nicely. All right, so we have this little instruction sheet here. So here are the cards that this kit creates. And then this actually opens up and gives you step-by-step instructions. There's even measurements on here. I'm wondering if you're going to need those for placement. But there's some twine, and it looks like adhesive, these little clear dots, and the dimensionals, the foam squares or hexagons. This is the card base for one of them. And then this goes on top. So there's for that card. And then there's some envelopes that have some printing on it, which is kind of cool. And then these envelopes match the other card. There's 2 card designs. These look like they're very similar to Close to My Heart's Cut Above kits, where everything is pre-cut for you. You just assemble. There's these little pop-outs that you can put on here. They'll go back behind here. And then little banners that you'll stamp on. Let's see, what's this? This looks like it goes on this card, maybe layers like that. And then there's these little pop outs which go on the other card. So it looks like, it says you get 8 cards in envelopes. There's 5 of these. That's probably just so they can fill up the whole thing, because I think you're just making 4 of each of the card styles. So that was the paper pumpkin kit that I got. So this is the Thoughtful Designs Specialty Designer Series paper, and I just thought this was so pretty. You get several colors, and it's got this like foiled, it's not even really foil, it's not like silver, it's more of like a iridescent sheen on it. It's so pretty. I hope the light is catching it. And then you've got this like ombre effect with the blues, and it comes in a whole bunch of different colors. So I thought that this was just a really nice way to add several colors of a pretty patterned paper to my collection that will go with a variety of the other paper packs, and it's going to match this other paper pack that I got. It did come with this really heavyweight chipboard backer because these are not super thick weight, so that helped to protect it. And then it came in this type of packaging where it's like adhesive at the top. So I'm going to either put it into one of Close to My Heart zip top bags because I have a bunch of extra, or I got some paper holder kind of things that are really nice that my friend Heather told me about, and I'm going to show you those when I show you some of the other paper. And then this is the Country Woods Designer Series paper. So Designer Series paper, or DSP, is what Stampin' Up calls their paper packs, and this was just so pretty. So you get 2 of each design, and there's a lot more paper in these than in Close to My Hearts. I think there's 12 sheets, but here's the front and back. Look how pretty that is. I just thought that was gorgeous, and I thought that some of these would go nicely with this specialty paper here, and then also with these ephemera pieces that I got. So let me just show you these really quickly. I think this is going to be a super hot seller. I know a lot of other makers that got this in their kit as well, because everybody's just loving it. So this is going to be super awesome for so many things. One thing to note is that the printing of what it is and the colors that are in it, this one, yeah, it lists the colors that are in it. It's on this backer sheet. This one's not as heavy as the specialty paper backer is, but it is on here. So what I'll do is just take this whole thing with the paper pack and put it into my zip top bag or paper holder so I know what colors are in it. Or you can label it if you want. I know some people are doing that, but the Stampin' Up papers don't have the zip strip like Close to My Hearts, which was nice, but you'll still get to know, you'll still know what colors are in there if you keep that packaging. Stampin' Up did say that they like the zip strip idea, but it is a whole logistical thing for them to introduce that to their paper packs. So they don't know if they're going to, or if they do, when that would actually happen. So let me get this out of the way. All right, so let me show you this other stuff. So I was really excited about these ephemera sheets. These are brand new to Stampin' Up. They're little pop-outs, kind of like Close to My Heart had in the workshop kits and in the cut above kits. They just pop right out. And so I thought these would make a good, oh, there's even more than I thought there would be. There's 2. Looks like there's 2 of each sheet. So you get 8 total. I thought there was just 4. So awesome. So I thought these would be good to mix in with some of the papers I got, since Stampin' Up does not have sticker sheets yet, although they will be working on that. So I could use these as some embellishments, and there's 4 different ephemera packs like this. I got the floral one. There's sentiments and titles, which they're geared more for card making because Stampin' Up came out with these before they knew they were going to be taking on Close to My Heart stuff. But I think these are all sized great to be able to work on scrapbook layouts as well. and there's a variety of colors. So you'll be able to mix them in with a bunch of the paper packs, and that's probably the idea behind it. Even though they were designed for card making, you could mix them in with the paper packs that they carry. And it looks like a lot of these are the InColors, which I'll show you because I got some of the InColor stuff. So I think that these are going to be really fun, and it's exciting that you get 2 of each. So I can use them all on scrapbooking, or I can even use the second one on making some cards. I do make cards. I just don't make them on my channel very often, but sometimes I'll post them on Instagram. All right, this is what I was most excited about. So this is how their stamps come. And I'm going to show you in one of the other sets I got how I'm making it work to fit the dies in here, and so that this doesn't slide around as well. So you'll notice some differences between this and Close to My Hearts. First of all, they come in this DVD type case, which is a little bit bulkier. So I'm gonna have to figure out, it will fit in my stamp storage, but I might figure out a different solution for these. But the nice thing is that if this is sitting on a bookshelf, you can see what it is right away, versus Close to My Hearts, you have to lift the envelopes out to see what it is, which, you know, I don't mind doing because they don't take up as much space. But this is how they come. The printing is on the inside here, not on the carrier sheet. That's not to say this may not change down the road, because they're looking at how Close to My Heart did things, how they do things, and what will work. So here is the stamp set, and then it has a coordinating embossing folder and coordinating dies. So I thought it might be helpful to actually see it in the catalog. This is the Seaside Wishes bundle. So here is the stamp set. You can see the things that are shaded in pink have a coordinating die. So it's these and the starfish. And then there's these standalone dies as well, the little like kelp, and then these little like coral pieces, they look like, almost, to help support it. So the nice thing about their die sets is some of them coordinate with the stamps, and then some of them are standalone. So like here's a great card example. I think this is really cute. They have stamped on the die and then stamped and then cut it out, and on the starfish too, and then there's the little standalone pieces as well. I think that's really, really cool. So let me show you these in action. The dies come in an envelope like this, which is very, very nice. It's a very nice envelope. The only thing is that they're not on a magnet sheet, and I know we're used to that, but look, it fits perfectly in here. Some of the die sets are a little bit bigger, or they don't fit inside things like this, but I've found that if I cut a 5x7 piece of magnet and put it in here, and I'll show you where I did that, then you can keep your dies in here with it. So we'll take it off of this little card that has the adhesive. It's a little trickier. I mean, this is how so many companies do it, but I just love the magnet sheets. It's so nice. So see how these are all together? Now look at the embossing folder. So they're calling this a hybrid set. I think this is a 3D embossing folder, so there's a little bit different setting to run this through your die cutting machine, but it comes with this around it. And then this opens, and these are locked in place. Whoops, I need to put them up here. These are like that because you're going to run it through with your embossing folder, so you can cut and emboss at the same time. It's the hybrid embossing folder and dies. And so this like locks in there so they're not moving around, and then you would run your paper through at the same time, and it will emboss the sand dollar and cut it, because otherwise if you cut it first and then run it through the embossing folder, you might not line it up exactly. It might shift. If you run it through the embossing folder first and then die cut it, then you're going to smash what you just embossed by running it through a second time. So this does it all in one pass, which is awesome. So you can do it together if you want to cut them out, or you can just do the embossing folder without cutting them out, and then it gives you that card background. Or you can just cut them out and then stamp on them so that you have the stamped look. So there's like 3 different ways to do that, which is really, really fun. So I'm very excited about this set. I think it's going to be great for scrapbooking. I'm going to Hawaii this summer, and so this will definitely get used. And as you know, I got back from the Riviera Maya that I went to in early March for my Close to My Heart incentive trip, and so this is going to work for some of those photos as well. So I'm sure I will get lots of use out of that. So I'm going to change up the packaging a little bit, but I'm loving the product. All right, so I showed these to you. So I got some embellishments and a marker as like my extra. So I wanted some extra embellishments just to kind of like have some new embellishments. These are so pretty. These are called the iridescent foil gems. Hopefully you can see there's like a pinky sheen, pinky purpley, that's the iridescent, but then there's also little gold glitter flecks in there, not as big as the gold glitter gems from Close to My Heart. So here's a little comparison of the gold glitter gems from Close to My Heart, and then here's these iridescent foil gems. These are a lot more gold glittery. This has a little bit of clear showing through, and then a little bit of iridescent and a little bit of gold, but they're very pretty. There's two sizes. The smaller size is about the same size as the Close to My Heart glitter gems, and then these ones are a little bigger. So the big ones are a little smaller, probably because they're sized more for cards. But I do appreciate there being two sizes because I definitely like to mix the sizes on my layouts. And then these ones are the Faceted Gems Trio Pack. And I thought that these ones worked nicely with that specialty paper that I got. They'll match that really well as you know, there's these neutral ones that will kind of go with anything. They're kind of silvery, so I just thought those were really pretty. There's lots of dimension on those, but they don't stick up too far. They give some dimension, but they're not super dimensional. And then I had $4.50 left over for my kit. You couldn't go over. So I got within $1 of my $125, and this was $3.50. So I have my first Stampin' Right marker. This is going to be good for journaling. There's this bullet tip on it, and then there's the brush tip. And a lot of people use these to color onto their stamps, so they can color different parts of the stamp and then stamp it. So it's almost like an ink pad in a marker. And this comes in every color that the stamp pads come in. All right, so let's look at all the goodies that I got when I went to Utah. Actually, before I show you what I got in Utah, I wanted to show you these things that I bought from one of my friends before I joined. So in between each catalog, Stampin' Up! Has an online exclusive release. And I've already put this one in the zip top bag from Close to My Heart. You can see there was rosy glitter paper in here, but I just kept the backer here so I can see that this is the Flowering Zinnias DSP, and then it has the colors listed there. So this is still available. It is one of the online exclusives, so this isn't in any catalog. It's only online, and you guys know I love bright colors. There are lots of bold patterns in this, but the back of each of these has more of a subdued pattern as well. So it's not, there's a bold pattern on one side and then a more subdued pattern on the other. And you mix this in with some cardstock and you know, you're good to go. I've already got that one turned over. So lots of really pretty patterns in here. I just thought this was really pretty, and there's double the paper that there is in Close to My Heart's paper packs. So that was the Flowering Zinnias. And then this is that other paper storage I was showing you or telling you about. So I think I'm gonna put my specialty paper in here for now. So I bought the glitter paper that goes with that. And so I just, this was on the throwaway paper or plastic. This is Berry Burst Old Olive and White Glimmer Specialty Paper. So glitter paper. And so I just wanted to remember what colors were in it, so I just adhered it to the backer board. So this is what is available to go as a specialty paper with that pack. There's also a stamp set and a die set and some other things that I didn't get. I just got those for now. But then you guys know how much I love background stamps. So I had to have this background stamp. I just thought it was really cool. This is still available too, of art and texture. And I haven't used it yet. I haven't used any of this stuff yet, but I will adhere this in here. And again, I'll show you one of a different stamps that I did that to already. So some people have been, there's 2 layers here. So this is like a thinner plastic to protect the top, and then this is that thicker backer, like close to my heart's carrier sheet. So you can either take glue dots and glue this in, and that helps because it doesn't slide around, but then also you can see where to put things back since it's not printed on the backer sheet. Or what some people have done, have taken them off of the carrier sheet and then they just stick them right onto there, and it sticks right onto there just fine as well. So I'm not sure what I'll end up doing. I think for now I'm going to use the glue dot to adhere them in, and then I might change my mind. And then for the ones that I'm adding the dies over here, I might keep this plastic sheet over it. I'm not sure because I'm just worried if the dies are going to touch here. I think there's enough room in there that they're not actually going to touch and damage anything. So that's TBD as well. But if you already use Stampin' Up stuff and you have storage suggestions, leave it down in the comments below. I would love to hear what you do. All right, let's dive into this stuff from Utah now. Okay, so first I'm going to show you the non-products, and I already kind of lifted up this backpack. This is the backpack that demonstrators got at the last onstage Stampin' Up's convention, which was in March. There are so many pockets in here, pockets in the back, pockets in the front. It's such a nice backpack. I have already used it and enjoyed it. I brought it back with me, obviously, and used it as my backpack on my travels home, but this was super awesome. I love the colors. I love everything about it. So I was so excited to get this. And then this was inside of it. This is like a little, I don't know, like a little organizer thing. And you open it up and there's all of these little pockets like for tools and stuff. And then we got this, which is like a pencil holder. And we got these pens, which match all of the InColors. So this is what I use to write all my notes. But this like scrunches down like that. And then you can use it as a little like stand to put your pens in. And then when you're ready to zip it up, you just lift it up and do that. So I think these were options that people could get at the onstage, which is really cool. We all got a handmade card. Their customer service team, which is amazing. I've had to call them a couple times already, and I met them all, which I love that I've met them. And then when I call, I can like imagine where they're sitting and everything. But they all made us these handmade cards and like hand signed them and everything, which was so nice. So that's really special. We got, so this is what I was talking about, like all their printed stuff has this really pretty design on it. So we all got the matching name tag. We got the My Ready reference, which is available as a separate supply to purchase, but it's basically like a quick index of everything you need to know about Stampin' Up as a business, like dates to remember, resources, just tons of stuff, all these like charts and stuff, and so that's really nice to have. They gave us this welcome card that was inside the backpack that we got, and then we got this notebook, which I added all of my, I've been adding notes to it, but we got this little notebook, which is really nice. And then these were like little postcards that were on display in their area. I showed a couple of the areas at the beginning of this video. They've got like a display area where they display a lot of products and stuff like that. And so there's all these really cool postcards. So I grabbed those to probably put into my scrapbooks. It's like a never-ending stream of goodness. So I also forgot, it's like, wait, there's more. My friend that I ordered from, she sent me this pack of the Bright and Beautiful DSP, and then these opaque faceted gems. There's Calypso Coral, Pecan Pie, and Pool Party in those. And it looks like actually this is that same envelope that I have for the 12 by 12. So that's the 6 by 6. That's a good option. But this is an example of one of the paper packs that's going to be carrying over. So I loved this. I actually saw it online. Oh, there's 3 of each one. I saw it online and I thought about getting it, but I was like, no, I want to get stuff that's still going to be available to show you guys, not that's going to be retiring. But lo and behold, this is carrying over, which is super exciting. So these colors are just right up my alley. Love that. But this is a 6x6 pack. So most of Stampin' Up's paper packs are 12x12, but there are some 6x6 like this one. So really, really cute. Let's get this one last one. Really cute. All right, so that's super exciting. All right, now the rest of this is stuff that I got in Utah. So this is one of their kits. Now they have a whole kit collection of basically kits that come packaged in a box like this. There's some cards, there's some other stuff. This one is, let's see what it's called, Happy House Plants Kit. And so it comes with, there's little dimensionals, and you're gonna make these little frames. And so it's got the mats, let's see, the dimensionals, the mats that you'll put around them. Here's the printed like design. And then I think there are some pieces, yeah, here we go, the pop-out pieces that you'll layer on top so it looks dimensional, like a little dimensional decor for your house. And then it comes with the frames. So there's 4 frames and they'll look just like this. They're just little white frames. And so everything in there you need to create a kit. I'm actually going to do this with my daughter. She was really excited about this. So I'm going to give this to her, let her put it together and decorate her room with it. But I thought it was really cute. They also wrapped this ribbon around it, which is one of their ribbons. Close to My Heart didn't have much ribbon, but Stampin' Up has quite a bit. So here's an example of one of them. And so now I have a whole bunch of it to use. Okay, and then they gave us a lot of stuff that has the InColor. So we got all the InColor stamp pads. And something I learned from Jill when I was there is that the stickers for the front of the stamp pad are down here, and they're in different languages because Stampin' Up is in several different countries. And so you'll just peel off the one that you want, and then you'll put it on just like this. And then I have seen, I might have to redo that, it's got a little crooked, so be more careful when you do it. Don't do it on camera. So their ink pads open differently. You'll lift them up like this and then slide them. I learned from Brandy Cox, if you take a little Q-tip with Vaseline and kind of rub it over the track right here, that it will slide a little easier. But this is, they did say that they love the magnetic cases that Close to My Heart inks come in, and that they're planning on switching over to those, but they will keep their foam, which is a different type of foam that they have on the inside, but use our case, which is awesome. But that might be like a 2 or 3 year R&D project, they said. So don't expect it real soon, but in the meantime, we've got these ones. And so these are all the InColors: Petunia Pop, Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, Summer Splash, and Shy Shamrock. And right now in May, for people who sign up as a demonstrator, like if you wanted to sign up with Stampin' Up under me, there's a whole collection of all the InColor stuff that you would get for free with your kit. So all of the ink pads, I believe it's the markers, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I will list a link down below that shows you what all you would get, but you get a whole bunch of InColor stuff. So here is their pocket cards. They call them the Memories and More card pack because they're designed to be able to use on cards, or they do have currently a few scrapbooking things that they call Memories and More. And here's just an example. They have 6x8 scrapbooking, and it's a pocket page. So there's a 4x6 here, and then the two 3x4s on the bottom. And so they gave this to us. It's got the 2 rings, so it won't fit in the Close to My Heart 6x8 albums, but there's albums on the market. Stampin' Up sells some, and then also I think scrapbook.com has some 2-ring ones. But these are designed to be able to use in those or on cards. So one side has, like this one says, "Thank you very much," and then the back is just a design. So you can use these on cards, you can use these in scrapbooking. You guys know I love pocket cards, so I'll probably use these somehow. They're so pretty. It's all the InColors, and they look so good together. And I love how one side is good for scrapbooking and one side will be good for card making, or both sides might be good for either of them. So here's a look at all those. I'm just going to go through them real quick. So this, what we got is all the Unbounded Beauty collection. So the Unbounded Beauty has all the InColors in it, and then I think there's this darker color, which I don't remember off the top of my head what the color is, because all of these are new to me. But really, really pretty colors. I love that. And then it goes with the Unbounded Beauty paper. So I have this in the little zip top bag already as well. So let me get that out of the way, and then I'll show you all of these patterns. Really pretty. I'm so excited to use these on a layout. So again, you've got some busy patterns, but then the back is a little more toned down. Like this one is more tone on tone. So even though there's not cardstock in here, you can use kind of the toned down colors. And there are some Close to My Heart colors that would work with this. The back side of Wild Berry, which was a past color of the year, works with this, and the light side of Lagoon blends well enough to work with this as well. So that is the Unbounded Beauty paper pack. And then here is the Flowers of Beauty that matches this. So this is where I added the magnet sheet. So I cut it to 5x7 and it fits perfectly in there. It fits all of the dies that go with this. And this is that set that I added glue dots to the back in several places, and I just adhered it down. So then when I go to use these, I know exactly where to put them back, and it's not going to shift around. So we'll see. I might eventually go to where I put them right on the case. And then let's see, I really don't think the stamps touch the dies. It doesn't feel like they do at all. I think there's still room in there. I'll just put this in there for now, just until I decide what I'm going to do, but I think we're safe. So that was the Flowers of Beauty, and like I pointed out earlier, some of the dies coordinate with the stamps and some of them are standalone. So like this one is one of the standalone ones, and I'm going to show you this in the catalog so you can see what all of it looks like, and I'll go through all of the new collections in the catalog as well and just show you the spreads in the catalog. And then this one would stand alone as well. But then there's some that will cut these out. And then there's these flowers which layer up. There's 2 sizes of flowers which will layer up on all of these as well. So lots of options with the dies. The dies are a little bit bigger a pack than Close to My Hearts. All right, and then we have another one of those hybrid embossing folders with the dies. Now this die set actually, I'm gonna have to put this just on a magnet sheet in a sleeve. But this one actually has a bunch of little pieces to go with it. And one of the things I like that they do is if there's a bunch of little like stars, they put them all on one die together. So you just cut them all out at once. But this one is sentiments. So there's all these sentiments on here. So it looks like this. So you can cut, let's see, it'll go like this, no, like this. There we go. Okay, so it's kind of locked in there. So you're going to put the paper So the paper will be in between the cutting side, here's the cutting side, and the embossing side. So your paper will go in there, and then you'll run this through the die cutting machine, and you come out with the designs. And then I've seen where people take like a brayer and they'll brayer some ink over top so that the raised part gets the ink on it and it shows up better. And so that's a really fun option to do with this particular set. So that was the Thoughtful Moments. And then this is the Unbounded Love set with all the sentiments on it. And so these are more for card makers, but there's also a die set that goes with this. And so there's these little shapes that will fit a lot of these. In fact, let me just grab the catalog to show you. So here's the Unbounded Beauty page in the catalog. So you can see lots of really pretty artwork there. So it gives you ideas. So here's one of those dies I showed you, the standalone one. Looks really pretty cut with the glitter paper. And here is it used on a card. And then the next page shows the products I just showed you. So then you'll see here, these are the stamps that cuts out, all of these. And then the other ones are just kind of standalone. And then this is this set here. So you've got the dies. So here are all of these dies. And then it shows you this will fit this one. So that's right here. And there's like a little frame to go around it too. So that would be this. And this has little dots on it too. A little dot detail, which is cute. There's a little circle with dashes. This scallop one has a little dot detail. This one has little dashes too, and it looks like it will nest right inside of this one. It's a little bit smaller. So there's lots of options. That's a big die set. So here is a closer look at how all of those cut out and how they coordinate with this. So let's look back here and see if we can point any of those out. So here they used some of those stitched things and the frames and all of those little shapes. But those will be good for scrapbooking too. If you want to build an embellishment cluster on one of these, then that's a great way to do that. These leaves are a little bit scaled back for scrapbooking, but they definitely could be used to kind of tuck into embellishment clusters for scrapbooking. But these bigger ones, I can definitely see these in as like little sprigs sticking out on a scrapbook embellishment cluster, don't you think? So pretty. All right, so the last thing I have to show you that goes with that collection is the glitter paper, and I put it in one of these little envelopes as well. And it's all the InColors. So just glitter paper with all the InColors. I would say it's probably about the same thickness as the Close to My Heart glitter paper, maybe a tad bit thinner, but not in a bad way. It might be easier to run through with a die cut, but it's still a very nice weight. It's very shiny and it's not shedding off at all. So it looks like it's a really nice quality glitter paper. And then the last few things that I got to show you before I show you the peeks at the catalog is they gave us a pack of just their Whisper white paper. This is just their white paper and I just put it in one of those envelopes. I got a bone folder. Close to My Heart didn't carry a bone folder, hasn't for a long time. And then their little paper snips. So this is their scissors. And I'm very curious how they do compared to Close to My Heart's. They say that they are super duper sharp, which Close to My Heart's are as well. I love these, and what I really love about these is that they're non-stick. This doesn't have the non-stick coating, but it does seem like they are very, very sharp. So we'll give those a whirl. All right, let me clear this up and I'll show you peeks into the catalog. Let me show you, I marked the pages I wanted to show you that I was most excited about. Now this one I would have got in my kit, except that it wasn't available during the pre-order, but I love this paper pack. It's so, so pretty. And then these are little punch outs and then like cut apart cards. What I like about this is that this kind of will take the place of a sticker sheet. And so you can see them up here, all these little pretty clusters that they made on looks like bookmarks and some little treat containers. So I think that this is a really good option for scrapbooking. And then here is one of the new sweet collections. It's Mediterranean Blooms. So the way this works, they call them sweet collections, and you can get the whole collection for $83. That includes the stamp set with dies. Here are the dies, the little gems, and the full paper pack. So it's not an abbreviated version like Close to My Heart's workshop kits might include some of the collection items, but not everything, and the embellishments might be abbreviated. This is the full thing of everything. And then we've got Take to the Sky. So this is a really fun, like aviation themed collection, but I think it also is really great for travel. Like look at this pattern here and this one, and then the planes here. Lots of really neutral patterns. If you don't want like all of the planes, then the back side is really good for just masculine or travel layouts. So we've got the stamp set with the coordinating dies, and again the dies coordinate with the stamps, and there's some standalone ones, and then the little embellishments and the paper pack. And then we've got To Market. So we've got this little shopping bag thing and things you can stuff it with, these embellishments, and then this paper pack. One thing to note is that these examples, they've zoomed in. So the pattern is not actually this big, which is important to note for scrapbooking because it's actually a much smaller scale. And I don't think we can really see that over here. I don't see an example of it, but this is not that big. And another thing I love is that there's so many different embellishments and so many different collections. This is the annual catalog, of course, so it is going to last all year, but there's so many collections in here that are going to last all year. Plus there's mini catalogs and online exclusive releases that are going to be coming out too. So we're going to have way more products to choose from. I'm going to have trouble deciding on what to use. So here's Wildly Flowering. There's a close-up of the paper, and then the stamp set and dies, and then these are like those faceted gems like I showed you earlier. And there's also an embossing folder. One of the other things that's cool about Stampin' Up! Is that there's a lot more embossing folders too, which we didn't have that many options at Close to My Heart. All right, this paper pack I'm so excited about. It's only a 6x6, and I know a lot of people are like, whoa, tone that down. Well, I will, don't you worry. I love bright colors. I'm really excited to work with this set. It was not available in the pre-order or I would have gotten it, but I think it's gonna be really, really fun to work with. I just love all the colors. Those bright rainbow colors are so fun. And you know, on a scrapbook layout, I will add a lot of white when I work with such bright paper, and I think it's going to be really fun. And then there's these fun little gems, some ribbon. This die set is really cute, so this friend will layer on top of there. Plus there's a stamp that you can cut out with this as well. This like little paint swash thing, the little leaf there. This is a photopolymer set. That's something else to keep in mind with Stampin' Up! Stuff, is that they have photopolymer sets, which are the clear ones like we're used to with Close to My Heart, but they also have red rubber cling stamps, and so you need to pay attention to what you're actually getting if you care. And the way they decide if it's going to be cling or photopolymer is the red rubber apparently works better for really detailed stuff. Like they actually have artists in-house that you know, like this, like they actually showed us this real artwork that was done on watercolor paper actually watercolored by one of their artists, and then they turn it into paper. And so this one is a cling stamp set because it has a lot more detail. And it's got that like watercolor look. It was probably drawn with watercolors, and it's got that watercolor look, so the red rubber cling will retain that detail better. But then this one, like this is photopolymer. So this is the Lily Pond Lake. Really fun colors. I'm not sure about the ducks. I'm not really into ducks, but there's like the other side of a lot of these are cute. But this is also a 6x6 paper pack. And then this is the one I just showed you, Thoughtful Journey. And this is that the specialty DSP that I got that I showed you earlier. and it coordinates with this Thoughtful Journey collection. So if you like watercolor looks or more realistic kind of painted looks, then this is a great option for you. You really wouldn't need a whole lot of embellishing on your scrapbook page if you did this as a background. That's a statement in itself. Here is the Country Woods, and then the products are on the next page. So there's that wooden paper, the Country Woods DSP, and then this is the Country Lace DSP. They're both really pretty. So again, the pattern is not this big, they're just showing it zoomed in, but those are both very, very pretty and similar color tones, so they could go together. Here's Unbounded Beauty that I already showed you. And then let me skip ahead because I wanted to just note a few other things. I can't possibly go through the whole catalog because it's so big, but just some other noteworthy things that I'm excited about. These Spotlight on Nature dies. There's all of these like little patterns around the edges, and they'll all layer on each other, and they'll also make really great embellishment landing spots on scrapbook layouts. So you can kind of see the edges right there and right there. So I think those ones are really fun. And then here is just an example of, they called this Encore. So this is all past Stampin' die sets that they are carrying over. I'm excited about this one. There's a whole lot in here that I want. This is just some of them. Here's an example of one that is a cling stamp, because this coral has a lot of detail on it, and this piece has a lot of detail on it. All of them do, really. So it is a cling stamp with the red rubber. And then there's some standalone dies. So this piece of coral here, here, and here, those are all going to be standalone dies that don't match a stamp. Some of them, a lot of the die sets, actually I think all of the die sets are like that. So there's lots of Encore sets here in the catalog, and then there's even more on my website. So I wanted to point that out. And then I thought I'd point this out. This is kind of all on its own in this invitations section, but this lace I thought was so pretty, and I've been working on my sister-in-law and brother-in-law's wedding album, and I think that will be a really pretty addition. I can just imagine it kind of like they did on the Save the Date up in the corner, and then maybe down in the well, just like they did here in the top corner and reverse bottom corner of a layout. That would be really pretty, and then maybe peeking out from behind some photos. So if you have like wedding layouts or layouts where maybe heritage layouts, I think that is a really good option. And then I mentioned they have tons of embellishments. This is all of their embellishments. Well, it's at least all the embellishments that are in the catalog. I think there's even more online. I got these two. I'm not sure what happened to them. The InColor dots. I have them around here somewhere, and I meant to show them to you. So lots of options. These little butterflies were on that card that Stampin' Up made for us with the little cow on it. They're like little stainless steel sticky back butterflies that are super cute. Another thing is this color theory wheel. So it has all of the Stampin' Up colors on here in a color wheel, and it matches them up with the colors that you would typically see on a color wheel, so you can see what goes back, you know, complementary colors and all that. And then it explains here what's monochromatic, complementary, analogous, and triadic. So you can, it'll kind of help you with color matching and deciding on colors for a project. And then at the back is all of the colors that they have. So they do have more colors than Close to My Heart did. They are bundled in families. So like this is the subtles, it's like the pastels. And the 12 by 12 paper currently is only available in a family pack. So you can only get it in a pack with all of these. You can get 8.5 by 11 individually, and they said that they're going to eventually come out with 12 by 12 cardstock that is available individually, just not yet. And then here are the Brights. Of course, I love all the Brights. The Regals are here, so you know that if you're using everything in a color family, it's going to go well together. But of course, you can, you know, use colors that are, you know, on opposite color families as well. This is the Neutrals. And then here are the in colors that were just introduced. So that's the stamp pads that I showed you, and it was in that Unbounded Beauty collection. And then they also have another InColor. The InColors are good for 2 years. So these are the InColors that were introduced last year, and they will carry forward for another year. And these ones that were just introduced will be available for 2 years. And the nice thing is that they incorporate all these colors into their paper packs too, whereas Close to My Heart had a color of the year, which was awesome. I love the Journey color, which is this color of the year right here. I've been obsessed with it lately. But they didn't typically introduce it into a paper pack with other colors. So I love that Stampin' Up! Does that. That's going to be really nice. So that's what I wanted to show you from the catalog. If you want your own copy of a catalog, Stampin' Up! Doesn't typically give a free catalog with an order like Close to My Heart did. However, if you are a VIP with Close to My Heart, they are going to include a free catalog in your order this one time only. So with your first order, you'll get the annual catalog if you were a VIP, and you'll get that with your first order. So if you are ready to place an order on my website, I will have all of the information linked down below. You'll get your free catalog. Yay! And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. Leave a comment down below or contact me over on my Facebook page, Instagram, any of that. I can't wait to come back and show you what I create with these products. See you later.